so back, I hope. Let's see if the stream launches this time. Okay, we're up on Twitch. Let's go. That's big. That's big for the program. Are we up on YouTube? No. Why? Wait, no, it says we are. YouTube always takes longer, and it always works less good, which is slightly confusing. Alright, save that. Hey, it's working. Wow, that worked like way faster than it has been. Okay. I think we're actually live. Wow. Would you look at that? Yeah, cool. Notification just got sent out. We can pull it up here and see if there's any chats. Okay, let's not echo the sounds. Alright, cool. Welcome back to RP-1. We're going to be continuing on our career mode journey. We have one more contract left for our crewed orbit, which is the collect crew science. So we're going to be building one of those. We need that engine. Yeah. That kind of sucks. That's a little stinky. We're not going to have that done in time. We're going to miss that deadline, it looks like. Is there anything we can do about that? Yeah. I just don't think. When did we get the restartable? Is that 1950? No, see, it's 1960. That sucks. We're gonna get all this though, because we want the improved config for the RL10. That's gonna absolutely carry us. And then we can queue that. Actually, we don't need to do 1962 right now, because I want to get both of these, because these are both going to be really important. The interplanetary comms and the other thing. What's up, Bars67? Welcome back. Thanks for coming back and watching. That's awesome. So, in the meantime, let's queue up our next rocket. So, for anybody on YouTube, or for anybody on Twitch who's interested in the YouTube, I just put up an edited version of the first half of the first stream, which is kind of sick. Did we never rename this from test? Did we really never rename it? Hey, you got a Twitch at? Yeah. Let me throw it in here for you. It's the it's a very similar name. There you go. Did we really never rename that? Did we call it the shitfuck or something stupid? Oh no, we called it the what could go wrong. Okay, this is the right configuration. And then we're going to change our crew science to Earth photography and what's the other one we don't have done yet? Flight control? Yeah. Okay, so we need those two experiments to run. We can build one of these. And yeah, so that'll be done with our crewed orbit thing, which is cool. We have applicants to be putting into this. Let's hire all the applicants that we got. Okay, we're still making money. Our research is zooming by, which is fantastic. We need to wait until this is done to be able to get the last contracts for our Earth observation. How many do we have left on that, actually? Oh, actually, you know what? We can do this one. Yeah, we actually can do that one. And then we just have Chekhov and the magnetometry. Okay. We can build that right now. That'll get some of us that'll get us some progress done on that. Welcome everybody, by the way. Appreciate everybody stopping in. Apple is the launch vehicle. But is this in the right configuration? What configuration do we have this in right now? Yes, it is in the right configuration. We need to put the new sign. We do not need 60k on that. Why did we have 60k on that? Oh, that's why. Okay. We need to add some reaction controls to this. So we're going to throw on a little flat round tank here. We're going to make it a lot smaller though. That's the only thing that we have to change about this. We should, at some point soon, build a new launch site, a second launch site, so we can be launching these missions separately. How much does this thing weigh? 150? So we could build one that's like 200 to 150, but that's a little bit too heavy. I probably should have made one that's dedicated to crude stuff. That kind of might have been a mistake. Alright, well, let's do a launch early. Let's see if this will get into the orbit we need it to. I think it will. I would be surprised if it doesn't, but let us see. Oh yeah, I'm liking the music today. We're vibing. So we need to be like 300 by 300. Yeah, this will easily do that. And oh no, that's the wrong one. That's the magneton. That's the crude orbit. Okay, we need to be like 600 by 600. And inclination doesn't actually matter. Can we do it at 90 degrees? Do we have to? Oh yeah, we do. Okay, I think this thing is just gonna work, which that's a first for our program. Yeah, this thing has plenty of delta V. It's not even a problem. Not even close to being a problem. Okay, awesome. That tells me all I need to know on that front then. We can build one of these. Okay, Apple, let's call it Appo Info. Or infra would be the correct thing, but who cares? Let's put the new science on this. So configure experiments. We want the infrared radiometer. We can keep an early TV camera on it. We can't do... Can we do orbital perturbations? What do we need for that? We can do orbital perturbations. Okay, we'll do that. And then I don't think there's any other science we can be doing, so we can leave that slot empty. Okay, awesome. Let's save this. It's all tooled, and let's integrate it. Oh, we don't have enough funds. Why is this so expensive? Oh my goodness. Alright, well, we can wait a little bit. That'll be done soon. Yeah, it kind of sucks. We need a second launch site. But for our next crude stuff, we're going to be building a much heavier rocket anyway. So maybe that's not a big deal. Oh, we're not training anybody. That was stupid, wasn't it? Yeah, that was stupid. And we're not making any money. Oh, well now we're making money. Okay, we're going to quickly time warp here so we can start building the infrared radiometry satellite. For anybody who's currently watching or in the chat or anything, feel free to say hi in chat. I'd love to hear from you guys. Alright, we're going to build that. I don't know why this thing is so expensive. I don't know why it's freaking 11k. So I don't think we have like super expensive parts on there or anything. But whatever. And then that'll be ready in 29 days. That'll be done in 49. Because we still need the mission training, so we can't do anything until we do that. So let's go to this being done. Yeah, we're going to miss this deadline by like a year. That sucks. That's going to be a... Well, actually, we're done with the training now. So, we'll come back after we finish crude orbit and build our new launch vehicle. Alright, guys. Keith is going to go to orbit. Keith's first attempt to orbit yesterday failed. And he did not stay in orbit. was not here yesterday. How far are you along on the X-Planes? We finished it, unfortunately. We'll probably do some fun X-Plane experimentation stuff at some point, but right now we are done with X-Planes. So, let's hope Keith can make it. I hope Keith isn't, like, cursed. Because, yeah, last time he did not make it to orbit. We can start these now, it's fine. Yeah, we finished yesterday with our X-Plane, X-15, and for the Carmen line, and the hypersonics. Yeah, we're kind of speedrunning right now. I mean, we're not doing amazing, to be honest. Like, we just missed the program deadline on our Earth observation satellites, which isn't the end of the world. That's not like a super important program. We're going to be destroying our deadline for the crude orbit. But something to note. Alright, we need 4 out of 4 ignitions here. Fantastic. That's the most sketchy part, because these engines... I guess they're up to 98%. So, they're not nearly as scary as they used to be. They start out at like 90%, which is scary as hell. You know what I'm going to set up today? I'm going to set up stream alerts, so when like people follow and do stuff, it pops up. I think that's a great idea. Because right now I have no idea when that happens. Actually, I could find out when that happens, though, can't I? Because if you go to the... I think it's the creator dashboard on Twitch. Is that how that works? I don't know. I don't have a lot going on right now, so I can kind of try and figure it out for a second. Stream manager. You guys can tell I'm a really good streamer. Oh, yeah! Toto, thank you for the follow, dude. That does work. See, like, I didn't see that before, but now I know, so now I can thank you for it. I appreciate that. That's sick. Okay. Burn's looking good here. These engines have plenty of burn time, so we're doing good. Oh, we need to activate our reaction controls before this next stage fires, because it is not controllable for some reason. Okay, last point of failure, and we did it. Everybody, Godspeed Keith. Keith is going to orbit. This is fantastic. Alright. This Mercury has so much extra performance. We could have made this thing so much lighter. We have like 1,000 extra meters per second of delta V by the time our burn's done. But whatever. Better to overbuild than underbuild. I guess it gave us some failure tolerance. Alright, orbit has been achieved. We need to stay in orbit for a day, which is fine. We can decouple that, turn off RCS, and let's start orbiting. We have plenty of resources to stay in orbit for a day, so that's not an issue. Well, do we actually? Yes. Okay. Maybe plenty was a strong word, but we do have enough, it looks like. We're just getting a little bit low on electric charge. Ooh, we're getting very low on electric charge. Oh, this is going to be close. Keith? I should have probably tested this, shouldn't I? I forgot you had to stay in orbit for an hour on this. Is there anything we can shut down? No. Huh. That doesn't change our power usage, does it? Having the RCS enabled? I don't think it does. But let's turn all that stuff off. We can stop running these. Well, they're just waiting, so they're not actually doing anything. But maybe that affects our power. How long does this say we have? Oh, that says we have 2 hours. Okay. Well, if that's true, then we'll be okay. Alright, we need to deorbit immediately. Because Keith is almost out of electric charge. Which would be bad. He would suffocate. And that would be the end of Keith. Alright, let's fire up these retrograde reaction control boosters. Oh yeah, Keith is gonna be fine, guys. That wasn't close at all. That wasn't almost a complete failure. No, not at all. I hate that it's at nighttime. It makes it so uninteresting to look at. Alright, deorbit burn is looking good. We can stop it right there. Decouple the retro package. And let's warp to the reentry. So how's everybody's day going? Everybody doing good out there? It's kind of annoying to... Can I turn on the lights in this thing? Is that a thing? Yeah, I can. There you go. Such a better view, right? Oh my goodness. Good. Currently working on my U2 and RP-1. Oh, that's awesome. I hate doing that part. It's like, I have no reason to hate it. It's just so like overly time consuming in my experience, where it's one of those things where I just like, after playing this game so much and doing it so many times, I'm just so, I hate it. Neo Brandon, if you're still here on YouTube or Twitch, thank you so much for that comment earlier, by the way. You don't know how much that means to me in terms of making that stuff. For those of you on Twitch, I just released a spent a lot of time perfecting the craft, so I've been at it. Yeah, I feel that. On the old YouTube channel, which I will quickly plug, we just posted an edited version of the first half of the first stream. So if anyone's interested in that, that was I've never tried something like that before, honestly. So that was kind of a new experience for me. I think it came out pretty well. It takes a lot of time. Like that 12-minute video took me probably 2 hours to edit. And like, you know, that probably speaks more to my lack of skill as an editor than it does the actual challenge. But, you know, one of those things. All right, Keith is re-entering. We did... Oh, you have to... That's a sample. Oh, I just panicked. It said... Because it said we didn't do this part. But I forgot the other one gets transmitted. Alright, we're going to be on a break for from crewed flights today. Probably for a while. Because we're going to be moving on to lunar stuff. Doing our lunar impactors and orbiters and all that stuff. And then... I don't know I don't know how far we'll make it today. We might get to a Gemini flight today. Not a problem. I like the video format you had. Just don't stop posting and the subscribers will come. Yeah, I hope so. Honestly, like, especially with stuff like this, I enjoy making it enough where it's, I don't know how to describe it. You know, it's more, I'm doing it a lot for me. Like, you know, if there are a couple people who happen to enjoy it, that's all I need. You know, I'm not under the delusion this is ever going to become something bigger than what it probably will be. But either way, we're having fun. And I appreciate y'all being here. It means the world to me. Alright, that is crewed orbit finished with. So that's actually a huge rep boost, and we can take advanced crewed orbit. We're going to take that at normal speed. Because we really do not want to miss the deadline on that, and it's still a lot of money. So, okay, Earth observation. We need to get that done as soon as humanly possible. So we're going to be going very hard into that right now. We need to fire a couple researchers because we're a little bit too much in the red here. All right, research strategy. Well, yeah, but every musician who is successful because they love doing music for themselves, right? People love seeing passionate people, I think. Yeah, I hope so. This is my future career, so I'm certainly passionate about it. We'll say that. Okay, so that's our advanced capsule material science working on, and then we have second gen capsules ready to go. All right, we need to make our satellite to get our next 2 contracts done. So we're going to open up this. It's going to be based on this platform, I think. We need to reduce mass on this. We're currently going a little hard, I think, in terms of solar panels and all that stuff. So let's try and get this a little more reasonable. Let's make it look a little nicer too. Yeah, get rid of that. We're gonna be using the Juno, wherever that is located. There we go. This needs to become a high pressure tank. Oh, that was close. That was almost a disaster, in fact. Alright. This is pretty much going to be what our satellite bus is going to look like. I think we can turn down our controllable mass. Yeah, by a lot, actually. 2 on that, and then we do not really need all this EC. We can go to 15,000 pretty comfortably, I think. So that looks good. Let's make it all gold. Yeah, something like that. Nitrogen probably is not the biggest deal. We need to go up to like 2.1 on that just to make sure we have enough control. Oh, never mind. Now we can go to 2, I guess. I guess the mass hadn't updated. Okay. That looks pretty good. How much delta V does this give us? 11,400. Is that enough for the mission? I actually think it is, but there's only one way to find out. So let's find out. We need to put on a checkoff detector and a magnetometer. Like that. Why did that just get so much bigger? What? What was that? Oh, and I got rid of the entire rocket. Okay. Only the best here, guys. Only the best. Why did that magnetometer make it, like, explode? Is that something that I did, or that shouldn't change its volume? Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. That's weird. Alright. Well, let's test it. I think this vehicle will be able to do these contracts. We need... The reason we needed that Juno engine is because we really need to do 2 burns with this. And that engine can restart, which is a huge benefit for us. So let's start out in a 3100 by 3100 degree orbit, which will give us how much excess delta V? Target unreachable, really? Okay. Well, let's go to like 300 by 300 and then see what we can do on orbit. Okay. I don't know why that's unreachable. Actually, yeah, I do. That's way too vertical. That's going to use so much delta V just trying to go up. The gravity losses are going to be insane. I think it's way more efficient to boost up the orbit once we're actually in it. So let's do that. Right now we have 1700 extra delta V, which is pretty good actually. I think that will be sufficient. Problem with this is it's only a 90% start chance, and we have to ignite it 3 times. So we have 10% times 3 independent events for failure. Somebody can do the statistics on that, but I think that means there's like a 70 or a 30% chance this mission fails. I don't know if that's the right statistics. I never took statistics, which is like weird, right? I only ever took well, calculus, all that stuff. Never took statistics, so not very good at it. Alright, another 20 seconds on this burn. Okay, so we need to pretty much immediately here fire prograde. Because we're going to be boosting our orbit. So let's do that now. We need this to be above 3. Just like that. And then we're going to warp to our apoapsis. Which is like there. And we're going to do the same thing again. So let's settle the tanks. Let's ullage our motor. If anyone's typing right now, I cannot see it. Oh, and yeah, there you go. We had an engine failure. But we had like 1500 delta V remaining to boost our orbit. Yeah. I think that's good enough. Any RP-1 experts in the chat want to answer if that's good enough? I think that is. Yeah, we're going to call that good enough. We'll build it, and if it doesn't work, then I'm going to blame somebody in chat. Yeah, that seems like the reasonable thing to do. Alright, let's tool that new tank. We need to wait a little bit to get the funds to build it, but we can do that then. I'm hoping, desperately, that we will get to a lunar landing today. Not crewed, obviously, but an unmanned lunar landing. I think that would be very cool. Alright, that'll be done in 17 days. We are increasing in funds, so we can queue the next one once this one launches. Actually, we can queue it early, can't we? Yeah, we can. So we can get that on the queue, on our build queue. Oh, never mind, it takes 8,000. I'm stupid. I'm stupid, dumb, and incorrect. That's alright. Alright, let's just launch this. We can queue that up right when we get back, so that won't be an issue. Wow, that costs so much money when we roll that stuff out. Alright, let's warp to daytime here. We need this in a 600 by 600. So, let's do it. Alright. Ascent guidance, we're going 610 by 610. And we're going to go 90 degrees. Just like that. Anything we're forgetting? Nope. I think that's good. Let's send it, guys. So exciting. I feel kind of bad like time warping through these, but at the same time, it's whatever. Alright, 800 meters per second to spare. That's amazing. Alright, let's slow it down. Second engine. Good ignition. And we're off. We can start on the science right away. I don't think we have any other science to be doing. Yeah, so it's just those experiments. And yeah, they look good. Alright, we are starting to pitch down. Alright, next stage. Fires now. Good startup. And we're good. We are going to orbit, guys. So, this contract is going to take a while to get done because of this. But it's not the end of the world. Where is the sun currently? Oh, it's right behind us. Disengage the autopilot. The orbit's good enough. Must have electric charge after 7 days. That should be easy. I think these solar panels should be probably a little bit overkill realistically. Alright, something like that. RCS off. Let's spin it up. We can disable those avionics. We save on the power. We're positive on power. We are transmitting science. So, that is that. That is a successful contract. Oh, shoot. I don't have my... Dude, I don't have my soundboard up. We don't have our success noise. Give me a second here, guys. Oh my goodness. What a failure I am. If this tries to make me sign in again, I'm not doing it. What is this? Oh, no, I don't care about that. Yippee! Yippee! Guys, we did it! That was so worth it. Alright, awesome. So that is done. We can time warp a little bit until we have enough money to build the next one, which we do. Okay! Progress is being made. I mean, we're behind on this program, but we'll be alright. Alright. That's not right. Did this not save? Didn't save, seriously? Unless we called it Apple Science instead. We called it something else. No, that's not it. It's not the Apple 1. Oh. I really thought I saved that. Shoot, that's annoying. Alright, well, let's rebuild it again. I thought I saved that. I was actually like really sure I saved that. Alright, whatever. We're getting rid of that. Speedrun it this time. I swear. Throwing that engine on it. This needs to become a high pressure tank. Like that. Our mass is 1.9. We can get rid of some of that like that. We do want the antenna, that's good. Controllable mass can come down to 2. Which will save us a little bit of mass and give us some delta V there. This engine can burn for longer. I wonder if there's any use in making it way more powerful like that. Gives us a lot more delta V. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. Does that lower our delta V? Yeah, it does, because that second stage doesn't get nearly the performance it did. So, actually, 1 meter is the sweet spot. Alright, 1 meter it is. Alright, is there anywhere else? Yeah, no, that's annoying. I kind of am frustrated that didn't save. Anywhere else we can be gaining performance here? Well, we could slap one of those on it, which will be useful for later anyway, because we want to get flight data on this engine. It's kind of big. But we have some mass here. I think we're going to redesign this slightly and do something like this. It's slightly overkill for what we're doing right now, but it's not going to take that much longer to build. And it's going to let us perform way, way more missions with this launch vehicle. Like, this can probably do our early lunar probes if we do it this way. So, I think that's worth doing. Bottom is 2.5. Yeah, I think this is worth doing. As kind of weird as it is. I'm gonna do this. This is a little cheaty, but my max height is too big, so I'm just gonna raise up the engines. Alright, let's check this. That is good. Oh, I'm not looking at the right thing there. Okay. I think this is worth doing. Because again, we can use this launch vehicle now for our orbital probes, or for our lunar probes and all that stuff. At least our early ones. So I think it's worth upgrading like that. 40 days on that. That's not bad. We're going to have to build 2 of them, though. We're going to be freaking behind on that. Yeah, we're losing money. That's why we're so poor right now. That makes more sense. So these are the 2 we need. This one's being completed right now. These 2 are the ones we need. We can't do them at the same time, right? Oh my goodness, we could have been doing this one this entire time. This is way easier than I thought it was. Oh. Well, that's frustrating. Yeah, we are really not in a great spot because of that whole kerfuffle with that program, but what can you do? Has that contract completed itself yet? Not yet, but it will. Wait, now that should have completed. Why did that not complete? Do we not have electric charge? Let's check in on that orbiter real quick. Which one was it? It's Apple info. Yeah. Why is this saying that I do not have that contract done? Or is it just gonna... Oh, it just instantly completes. Okay. Alright, that's that one done. That is big. Yeah, we're hovering right at our rep cap, so that's fine. We can get onto advanced second generation capsules, which is fantastic. That'll be done in 1963. We're going to want to speed that up, but we'll be able to do that, so that's not a big deal. Alright, let's get this thing up. Now that we have the extra performance, I think we can probably cheese this a little bit more. I think we can probably do that. Am I wrong? Control disabled? Oh my gosh, we weigh too much. Guys, I'm a genius. Alright, we're going to go 300 by 300, and what we're going to do is we're going to burn off fuel until we're controllable. This second stage is not going to be controllable. I am a buffoon. What? Why? Why did it do that? Alright. Well, guys, that is why you check your controllable mass. Oh no. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. I mean, we're recovering. We get some of it back in recovery. Yeah, that's a big yikes, Mr. Ball Muncher. That is a big yikes. Alright, well, you know, guys, maybe we should set the controllable mass to be correct, shouldn't we? How did I forget about that, man? That is so frustrating. Alright. Well, it's fixed. Do we need to retool those? Oh my gosh, we do. Yippee. Alright, well, let's run that back. That was a bit of an embarrassing failure for the program. $39 days on that. Do we have what we need for this? No, we don't. We need to get tracking station level 3. Shoot. Yeah, there's no rate we can build that where it's going to be profit, is it? I mean, we can build it at 5%, but we obviously can't let that stay like that. Should I have for lunch, Mr. Pro Pilot Gun? I think you should have a Popeyes chicken sandwich. How's that for a lock? Okay, we can build this while we're doing this. Popeye's chicken sandwiches go hard, so it's going to be my recommendation there. Alright, only 71 days on that, so it's not terrible. Alright, let us hope and pray that this one does not fail quite as emphatically. Huh. Oh, never mind. Okay, good. Alright, let's try that again. Okay, why does it say controls disabled? Oh my gosh, it's heavier than it freaking said it was. What? Problem is, it's going to shut down the engines when it turns on. Ah, moduling disabled does not kill. When I need to select that. How do we burn fuel out of this without? I mean, we're going to have to just launch, but then it's going to turn off the engines. Yeah. Okay, is there a way to get it to not? I'm going to revert here. Oh, cool. We have somebody advertising ViewBots in chat. That's always nice. Is there a way we can do this? Technically, yes. What we can do is we can light the center engine. Why is that not burning off any fuel? That should be burning fuel. What? It's just not burning fuel. Oh, we need to stop the resource pumps? Nope. Fuel pump disabled. There we go. Okay. Now, if we activate these engines... Okay. You know what? We're going to call that a win. Hey. Thank you, Fox. I appreciate that. Alright, we did it, guys. What I'm really nervous about is that this stage is not going to have enough controllable mass either. Gringer. I don't know what Gringer means. Maybe I feel like that's not a word I should be saying out loud. Alright, here we go. This engine has pretty good ignition chance. Yeah, 98%. No worries about that. And we have enough controllable mass. Okay. Cool. That was a bit of a kerfuffle. Guy's name looked like Gringer. Oh yeah, it did. You're right. How correct you are, Ball Muncher. Alright, cool. This engine is still our point of failure here, which is a little nerve-wracking. Okay, lit the first time. Yo, the Void Raccoon emote. I forgot I had that. That was for one of my friends. Alright, disable the autopilot, that's fine. Alright, ignition 2. Okay, it lit. That's fantastic. We would need to boost this until we're above 3 million, which would be right now. Cut that engine. Then we need to warp to the apoapsis. Okay, we still have electricity. Alright, then we just need to burn like hell and pray. We really need this to work. If this doesn't work... Okay, it lit. That is so big for the program. Alright, now we just have to hope and pray we have enough Delta V. We might not, so... This is what I get for not testing things like I should. Guys? I don't think we have enough Delta V. I am going to cry. Hey, what's up, Blueprint Creator? Spaceflight Simulator, Blueprint Creator, I'm guessing is what that means. Guys, I'm going to cry. I'm going to curl up into a ball and weep furiously. Just start to weep. Truly. How do we not have enough Delta V? Alright. We are just full of failures today, guys. This is truly atrocious. Yeah, I play it. Nice. Welcome to the stream, my friend. We are currently at an all-time low in terms of our morale as a program because our rocket keeps failing. Alright. I play KSP too. Awesome. Which one do you like better? There we go. Let's get controversial with it. That should have enough Delta V like every time. I'm really confused about that. You know what we might do? We might just throw this on top of one of these. I have a feeling that this thing actually is going to get way better performance. We'll just transform our Mercury. Ah, yeah. The volumetric clouds. That's a hard one. I pray for your computer. I don't have them installed either, because they are too much. Caught us had a great time. We have failed 2 missions in a row, which is awesome. Totally rad and sick. Alright, so we can adjust this state. This can all go. Alright. I need some belief here, guys. We're going to switch to isogrid just to make sure we have enough here. And we're going to make this thing spec'd up to be able to be a lunar probe as well. I think that's the key. Is that we just have both of them in one craft. That's why I use 2D clouds. Yeah. I do not blame you. At all. Alright, this is going to be a science core with like 15,000 EC in it. Oh, that looks stupid. Actually, let's make this our controllable one, because then the dimensions will make a little more sense. This can be our science core then. 15,000 EC. Alright, let's throw our engine on here. Can never find this stupid engine. There it is. Alright, that's a little excessive. What's our burn time on this thing? Oh, it's 7 minutes. Never mind. It's not excessive at all. Alright. This thing has excess performance now. I think what we'll do is we'll actually make this deployable. Make it look just a wee bit nicer. So what we'll do is we'll throw one of these on it. Turn down the vertical scale on it. What is this, 1.3? Make it a lot smaller. We're gonna make this into high pressure stringer. So this is the RP-1 realism overhaul pack. So all this stuff that's in that is what we're doing right now. It's too many to list, or I would list them. Alright, that does not cut down on our delta V very much. We need to set our controllable mass here. So 3.7 tons, 300 EC. These are placed up here, right? Yeah, they are. Okay. That is a good upper stage. That is pretty much what we need. Yeah, and then that gives this way more power. We're going to turn this from a fairing like that into a payload adapter. So let's do that quickly. Yeah, I have, the list is out there. I just do not remember it off the top of my head, if I'm being honest. Alright. Can make, what's the best part here to make longer? Probably this one, realistically. Actually, maybe our, well, wait, are we over our, oh, we are over our mass budget. Shoot. That's a pickle. Are any of these, like, way better? Not really. Yeah, not really at all. I think it's time we switch out our first stage engines, which sucks because I love those engines, but we have access to the, where is it? To the H1D series now. Which this engine is just a beast in comparison. Yeah. If we throw 4 of these is going to be too excessive, I think. Yeah, that's too much of a thrust to weight. So what we'll do is we'll throw 2 of them on it and then lower the mass on this a little bit till it's within limits. We're actually getting worse performance right now, but I think that's purely just due to the mass limits. But they are way better engines and we want to get data on them. How much controllable mass do we have on this? We need 28. Alright, we need to cut some weight on this. Do you play SFS or 2 or only KSP? Mostly KSP. I've played that like once or twice, but I can't say I've done it a lot, to be honest. Where can we even save mass here? I mean, we can do that, but that really doesn't do much, does it? It's just nitrogen. We have gridded tanks on there. Honestly, guys, we might just have to build a bigger launch vehicle here. I think we're just going to have to... modify this. Which really blows, but I just don't see another way to realistically do it. I don't think 11,000 is enough for this mission. So I think what we do now is we spec into our future with building a much larger launch vehicle, like much larger. Something more like that, 250 tons. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I think this is the answer, as much as it pains me. I just don't see us getting this done any other way. We can add some burn time on this, which will also give us a pretty good bump in performance. It's more excited. By the way, add some painting to the rock. Yeah, we're gonna do that. All right. We are. We're in the slums right now. All right. The program has been in a rough place. This is a test vehicle. Okay. Moon and beyond. Alright. Let's test this thing out for the mission we're doing. Can you make it hot pink? You know what? Let me just, is there a... How do I make pink? What color? Oh, there we go. That's more like a purple. Yeah, this doesn't look anything, does it? This does not look wrong in the slightest, guys. You guys just have dirty minds, okay? Alright, let's test this thing finally. This is all your guys' fault for having dirty minds. You like it? This looks so dumb. Oh my goodness. Never in my life have I seen something that looks this dumb. Okay. These engines are actually super freaking reliable, so that's big for the program. Make it yellow. Actually, you know what? I've heard worse ideas. Somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere I heard a worse idea than that. I need to hot stage that engine. Guys, how do we feel about the hot pink rocket? Let's be honest. Do we fuck with it? Do we hate it? How do we feel? What is this? You know what? It's beautiful. That's what it is. It is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, exactly. I'm entertaining the audience. That's totally what I'm doing. Okay, here, wait. I gotta do a shameless plug quickly. Shameless plug. We also have a Twitch that is up. If anybody's interested. Still a rocket is a W. We take those. We absolutely take those. You know, I think I'm launching this wrong. I think there's a much better way to do this. But, you know what? Let's see how we do. Yeah, because we're just going to keep burning. I think if I set my ascent guidance to do this part of the burn itself, it'll probably do it better than I will. We just use up so much delta V doing this, man. Alright. No, I don't have a TikTok. Wish I did. Maybe I should make a TikTok, guys. Maybe that's coming up next. Pro Pilot on TikTok. Alright, let's settle the fuel. Let's try again. How are we doing on nitrogen? Yeah, we don't have a lot. So we need to limit our RCS usage as much as we can. Alright, let's see if this does it. I honestly can't see why this wouldn't do it. Like, this vehicle can go to the moon and stuff. Yeah, okay. It's actually really close, but this will do it. And we can separate. We can aim at the sun a little bit. A little bit of nitrogen we have left. And we can spin it up. Alright, there we go. Disable that. We have perpetual charge. Yep, we do. Alright, I just want to make sure this thing will actually get the contract done, so we're in time warp 45 days. It's all simulations, so that's fine. Okay, this will get the contract done successfully. Thank goodness. I mean, it's going to be a massive pain in the ass. We have to build a whole new freaking launch site and stuff, so that's kind of terrible. Why is the engine doing the wiggly wiggly? Dude, it's just dancing a little bit, alright? You gotta let it do its thing. Okay, I cannot keep this like this. This is just atrocious. Sorry, I'm just a boy. I don't know how to make this thing look nice either. Throw some decals on it, try and save it. Hey, can you build a Soyuz rocket? Yes! We can definitely build an R7 style. Alright, new launch site. Heavier. Make it max of 275. Alright, we can tool this thing. We're spending so much on lot credit, but whatever. Alright, well, that thing's ready. Color is so much better. Yeah, I know. It definitely looks a lot better. But it's not quite as funny, is it? So, you know, that's a big thing. Alright, we need to turn that down. It's gonna take, oh my, that's gonna take 200 days? Dude. We're so far behind on this program. Yeah, this is bad. I mean, we can do the Chekhov detector. This one's a lot easier. Yeah, it's a lot to handle. It's a lot of mods. But is it even worth building that while we're doing this? I guess it is, yeah. And I mean, we're making research progress and stuff. You know what? Let's just build up funds here, because we're gonna need it. I hate doing this much time warping. We're basically wasting a year here. But I don't think there's much we can do. We need this to get done as soon as possible. Turn up that a little bit. No, they're gonna finish at like the same time. Yeah, that was it's a little tragic. That's gonna be a big blow to the program there. But we do have a rocket that will actually work now. So let's build it. And, you know, we have this launch site, which we're going to need this launch site for doing other launches and stuff. So it's not like it's necessarily the worst outcome. It's just not amazing. Oh, we actually didn't need to hire any extras. We have the funds to do that. This is going to take 49 days. Let's just warp to it, because we just want to get this shit done. Oh, we need to edit this. Actually, no, we don't. Yeah, we don't need to edit it. Alright, let's do it. I mean, the good news is, right, like, there is good news, believe it or not, which is that we can immediately go to doing moon missions with this. So, some positivity there. But, alright, let's do it. So what if we did this? I'm wondering if this is the way. I mean, it's not much difference. Let's try this. Where do you mainly stream at? I don't know, because you made it with Restream. Here in Twitch. We have 2 channels. That's it. So. Here is like YouTube stuff, and then there's the Twitch, by the way. And then we also just restream it on Twitch. I need to set up all my links and do all that stuff, but I just have not done that. Okay, well, I mean, we're going to get this program done with. We're just a year late, which is kind of terrible. It's very upsetting. But there's nothing we can do about it, so... Just make sure it knows that. And we're going to get flight data on this engine, which is really important. This engine's going to be a powerhouse for us. It's going to be used a lot, so... Not bad. It lit. That's fantastic. We're going to be burning for a while longer, though. And it does have a mean time between failure of 48 minutes, which is not nothing. So you got to be careful. Alright, and our burn is almost done. Thank God. Alright, we're going to time warp. This is time warp to the apoapsis. Same thing we did before. Just like that. We need to activate our RCS. Point prograde, settle the fuel. You can just light it now, that's fine. Let me turn off the RCS because this has a gimbal, so that will do everything we need it to do. Alright, the engine did not fail. Yippee! You guys like my sound effects? Be honest. Are they amazing? Be honest. Alright, we did it. Let's use our RCS to point us at the sun. Let's get it as lined up as possible so we don't run out of power. Because that would kind of suck, wouldn't it? And let's spin it up. Alright, disable avionics. That is the right one to disable. Alright, we just have to stay in this orbit now for 45 days, which we will do. We already tested that, so... Alright. Oh. I played both the sounds at the same time. That's okay. Alright, that's that contract done. We gotta build that exact same rocket again. Which is just great. We're losing out on so much money right now, it's actually, like, atrocious. If you're curious, SFS Blueprint Creator. We also have an edited version of some of the VODs. Hello, Kilo. Indeed. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, we have an edited version of the first half of the first stream on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, that is out there. Alright, we just need to put a Chekhov detector on this thing. That is it. It's the only change we need to make. Everything else is the exact same. Save and build it. Welcome to the stream, Kilo. How are you doing? Alright. Let's... Alright, that'll be done in 42 days. We are losing so much money because we're building mission control. So we're going to have to slow that down for now. Oh, no, we're just losing money in general. Because this is so far past our thing. Yeah, we're basically going to be a full year late on that. Cool. We're going into bankruptcy, guys. We may have to eat the dog. We may have to eat the dog. It's not my fault, guys. It's me, Blueprint Creator. Oh, hello. Welcome. There we go. We're getting double viewership. Or maybe single viewership, but still though. We take that. Okay. This launch is actually a little bit easier. We only need to be by 300, so we can do this, and then we can burn the additional. So guys, the good news is, hey, Kilo, thank you for the follow, man. I really appreciate that. The good news is that this rocket is totally capable of doing our lunar missions, which is going to allow us to really accelerate our program here. So that's, you know, an upside. Probably can't do our lunar orbit contract, so that's one thing we're going to have to look at. Subscribe. Hey, thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. Do you mean subbed on YouTube or subbed on Twitch? Because I don't know if I got the notification that you subbed on Twitch. But I assume you mean subbed on YouTube, which is very cool, so I appreciate that. Alright, this engine is becoming much more reliable as we fly it, which is super important for later missions. You know, actually, this thing might be able to do a lunar orbit. It's definitely not out of the question. That would be sick. Alright, awesome. Alright, well, this is going relatively well. We need it to finish this burn here, and then we're just going to burn again. Which, you know, is definitely not the most efficient way to do this. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Disengage autopilot, we're above 300, so that's all we need. Light the engine, we're going to put it onto prograde. And we just need to get our eccentricity up now. We're going to pitch up slightly, just so we can make sure... Oh no, we need to pitch down to make sure our periapsis is high enough, which it will be. Oh, no, pitch down too much. Oh, never mind. We can be above 200, so that's fine. We're actually totally fine. I was panicking for no reason. Alright, let's burn this. Pretty much going to use all the fuel we have here, or nearly. We need that eccentricity to be above 0.75, which it's about to be right now. Cool. Burn it a little bit longer. Alright, we're going to cut that out. We are going to use our RCS to aim where we want. We want to be pointing at the sun, vaguely. Use the debug sun catching tool. Oh, okay. Thank goodness. We went into darkness. I thought we just ran out of RCS fuel, which would have been terrible. So we did not put any spin on it. We don't need much spin. That is plenty. Alright. Are we positive on power? When we're in the sun? No, we're not, because we never disabled these avionics. Now we're positive. See, that's why we check things, guys. Alright, cool. I'm going to delete volumetric clouds because, you know, it's so laggy. Yeah, it's probably not the worst idea. Alright, both of those contracts are being complete now. So, what we're going to do is we are going to build another one of that exact same rocket. Man, we are falling behind on rep really bad. But nothing we can do about that right now. This is fine. We'll have that unlocked pretty, well, relatively soon. So, let's start on our lunar missions here. Yeah, we definitely messed up on the on that one program, but we'll be alright. Okay, we should consider what this would look like is if we turned this stage into a hydrogen engine. Like a Centaur sort of thing. We don't need the performance right now, so we're not going to do this right away. But I would like to see how much performance it gives us. The answer is probably a lot. Yeah, it's actually like a lot. We can also switch to these, which will give us much better performance. Yeah, that makes a big difference. That gets us up to almost 14,000 delta V. So this is definitely a configuration we are going to run at some point. We're going to call this Moon and Belong RL10. It is going to be expensive, but we need flight data on the RL10 anyway. And this is going to be overall a huge benefit because this will let us, this right here has enough delta V to be our lunar orbiter. So that's awesome. So what else we have to do here, this is the kind of sucky part, is we have to do deep space avionics, which are incredibly heavy. But you know what? That actually did not make as much of a difference as I was expecting. Yeah, we actually still have plenty. Okay, well, that's nice. Alright. Let's load on the experiments that we're going to have on this thing in real life. Okay, so this thing is ready. Oh, no, it's not. Now it's ready. Why did that change? Why did that change? We already had that all set up. Okay, are we good? Yeah, we're good. Alright, so... Oh... Yeah, we did lose some performance there. Well, actually, not by much. Okay, so we have a version of this that will do the lunar orbiting, which is good. We're going to go back to this version for now, because the balloon tank and all that stuff is super expensive and difficult, and we want to get this done as soon as possible. So we're going to stay with this for now. We are going to throw the experiments on board. Nope. I hate it when it does that. We want experiments that can be done quickly, because this thing is going to be an impactor, which means it's going to, as the name suggests, impact the surface of the moon. So we mostly just want stuff that's easy to do. So something like that is probably about right. Save. It's all tooled, and we can build it. Oh, we don't have enough funds. Okay. Well, we can build it once we have enough funds. Let's just time warp till we're at 10,000. 12,000. Okay. This is great. Let's save and launch this. So we're going to the moon, guys. This is very exciting. This is a big step for the program. So, that being said, we are still in a bit of a tight spot. We want early landing. Actually, we don't actually need early landing once we get the... Oh, we already have them. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, we can do some other research. We need solar panels. We need to upgrade these. That's been kind of stupid that we haven't done that yet. Okay, we have a research queue out to 1963, which is good. We're in 1961, and we're going to the moon. Fantastic. Let's make sure we get the contracts. Oh, I can't claim those while this is running. Seriously? Well, this is going to take 45 days, so those contracts will complete. We just have to go hit them quickly in the thing, in the tracking center. We somehow got off of stream beats, which is bad, because I wonder if we've been playing copyrighted music this whole time. I hope we haven't. That would suck. Thank you, Spotify. Okay. This... It's not Shitfuck 23. It's one of the Moon and Beyonds. I think this is the magnetometry one. Actually, this probably isn't. This is probably the Chekhov detective one. But they're both ready to hit, so... Okay, that was the magnetometry one. So, cool. Go back to the Space Center. We do it to the other one. I'm vibing today, dude. Alright, Space Tracking Center. And... it's this one, I think. Yeah, it's this one. We just want to hit the stay in orbit requirement, so it's done on the contracts. Okay, stable orbit. We just need to transmit all that data. Which, how far out are we from doing that? Quite a bit, like 70 days. That is so frustrating, but whatever. We're doing our best. That's all we can say. Just look at something really quick. Okay, we're good. Alright, guys. We're going to the moon. This is a big day. We really needed this, so... because, oh my goodness, are we behind on rep. That is just absolutely atrocious. We can turn this back up, so we can start having that being done at a reasonable pace. Alright. Alright, this is another big mission, guys. Let's hope it works. To the moon. Ascent guidance. We're going to go 150 by 150, and we're going to launch into the plane of the target. Just going to launch in 9 hours. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. Alright. Awaiting countdown. Godspeed, moon mission. Godspeed. Ignition. All 4 engines lit. I guess they have a 100% chance of late, but whatever. And we're off. To the moon we go. This pitch over rate is probably not fast enough. Well, it might not be too bad. Well, it's a little bit bad. Oh, that's really bad. Please say... okay, that lit. I need to fix that for next time. Oh, we're out of control. Why are we out of control? No, 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 no. Why are we out of control? We have controllable. We're controllable. Okay, that was just our pre-planned flip, guys. That's a pretty standard maneuver for these sort of missions. So no worries about that. Oh my goodness! I almost had a heart attack. Okay, we still have the Delta V we need. We're fine. It's not gonna kill us. I thought it might though. Definitely thought it might. All right, successful ignition on the Juno. That's always a bit of a scary part. Engine is not exactly guaranteed. Did you guys like our little fancy flip there? Was that add entertainment value? All right. Let's do our transfer. The nice part is we don't actually have to do any of this. It's all done for us, which is kind of sick. I'm slightly curious. Yeah, that's tech level 1. Huh. Guys, I might have I maybe should have checked if we're going to have communications when we get there. I think we will, because we're at tracking center level 4. But our antenna is tech level 1. Well, guys, there's only one way to find out. Well, actually, I think we can do the antenna planning here. Yeah, we can. Moon? Oh, we have signal. Thank goodness. That would have been bad. Let me tell you guys. That would have been atrocious. Alright, but we are on our way to the moon, guys. Well, not yet. But we're doing the burn to get to the moon. Which so far is looking great. We have extra delta V, which is awesome. Not enough to get into an orbit or anything fancy, but enough to do what we need to do. Alright, we're going to separate from the main stage. We're going to activate our RCS. Well, once we have signal. Once we have signal, there we go. And what we want to do now is we want to go to our target. And we want to burn in. Yeah, this is a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, but we'll be alright. Alright, because we want to hit the moon. Because that is part of our contract. Something like that. The sun is already pretty much fine, so we can spin this up. Disable that. Alright, guys, we're on the way. We're positive on power. Let's go to the moon. Still have power. That's good. We are entering the moon's sphere of influence. Fantastic. We're transmitting our science that we're getting. We're not going to get a lot from this, but we should be able to get both these contracts done at the same time, which would be amazing. Yep, there's our lunar flyby done. Now we just have to impact the moon. We have to impact at least 2450, which I think will be fine. I don't think that's going to be a problem. We do not have signal. We have probe control? No, we don't. Why does it say we have probe control? Oh, because of the science? Well, actually, I don't know. Whatever. Are we going to be fast enough here? We have to be at 2450. Yeah, we'll be fast enough. Okay, that just got a little worrying. And Godspeed, sir. Alright, that is both of the first lunar contracts done at the exact same time. That is a big boost that this program needed. Space probe reaches moon, and space probe hits moon. Alright, that gave us a good amount of science too, which we can get our RL10 configuration that we need, which is that. Okay. Well, see, the good thing is we're going to get that one done way ahead of time. This one, obviously, we are way, 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 way behind schedule. We're finishing it like a year and a half late, which is kind of terrible. But now we are going to build our lunar orbiter. We're going to switch to the B.O.O.M, the Moon and Beyond RL10 version. We are going to tool it, which is very expensive, but it's okay. We need to spend the money on this stuff. We are going to go for this because that's a big performance increase. we just tooled the wrong part there, I just realized, so that was kind of stupid. You know what? Let's actually switch with basic. Let's stay with basic, because we can save the money on the tooling then. This, I want to have a little bit more power, or a little bit more generation. Okay, everything's looking good. We have those on board, which we don't actually need. Let's edit our other science core here, because we actually can do long-term science here. So we want to load this up with long-term experiments, because obviously we're going to be in orbit, so we can actually do that. I mean, any of this stuff. TV camera, that's good. This one, an infrared radiometer on it. I mean, sure, put an orbital perturbation on it. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, let's build this thing. We're actually not going to have enough right now. Which is fine. We can take a second for that. Let's also up the tech level on this. Which we can do. Yeah, we need another like 20,000 funds. So we're going to give this a second. We're going to time warp for 1 sec. Let's get our contract for that as well. Lunar Orbiter. Alright, let's quickly time warp until we have this done. This should finish soon. Okay, I overtime warped there, like hell. Well, they never said I was the smartest one, guys. Driving at the moment, but my squad and I will pull up heavy on your next stream. Add me on Discord. Bet, dude. That's awesome. I will be sure to add you. Thanks so much. Alright, let's build it. Oh, we have to modify this, which is fine. That will take like a day. I sent you a friend request, Mr. Kiek, whatever that says. Also, thank you for the follow, I think. I actually can't tell. Which is probably a problem. I need to set up the alerts really bad. Okay. We need to construct this, which will take 5 days. That's fine. Yeah, we're falling behind on our rep really bad. That is a bit annoying. But it'll be alright. Alright, we can construct it. Acknowledge, acknowledge. Alright, guys. The big boy is ready to go. So that's going to take how many days? 55, that's fine. We are losing money. We need to turn down that construction rate a little bit. A lot, I guess. My goodness. Can this just freaking finish, dude? Oh, it did finish. Okay. Finally, we can be done with this. That program has just been a thorn in our side this entire time. We can actually get some money again. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're going to put our applicants into research here. Like that. We are losing money if we do that, but that's okay, because that'll ramp up. Alright, 55 days for our lunar orbiter, guys. I think that's all we have to do right now. Because we're waiting for second generation capsules, and then we can start on our Gemini program. Let's start training our astronauts. When do they retire? 1965. Okay, that's fine. Oh, we need to upgrade our astronaut complex. That's going to be expensive. Alright, well, in that case, let's just do this. We have some science to spend. We're going to want to get... probably improved avionics. Actually, no, we want to get that. And then that's going to be most of it for now. Alright guys, this is the next big one. This mission's going to be very, very make or break. So, let's do it. Alright, I sent guidance. We want to launch into the plane of the moon. We have 13,600 meters per second to work with here. That's pretty good. Not bad, at least. Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engine's lit. You know what? We need to change this to be that. Is that not enough now? Shoot, I messed this up. There we go. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so we're going to make it to orbit with 4,000 meters per second extra. Actually, no, we can do this. It's not good to change my settings like this, by the way. But... oh no, we need to end it at 3. Oh no! I fat-fingered that so hard. Oh. Alright. We are going to revert that, because that was me fat-fingering the thing. I think that's a safe revert. Does everybody agree? Because I fat-fingered sync guidance. Yeah. I think that's a fair one. I don't like reverting, but for stuff like that where it's not like an actual failure of the rocket, I'm okay with it. So we're gonna let that stand. Yeah, we're actually getting like 4,500 meters per second to orbit here. This thing is gonna be pretty close to being able to launch a lunar lander, I think. Which is amazing. These hydrogen engines are just so clutch, dude. They do so much for us. You know what, though? Okay. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Well, we'll have to see how we do here. Slightly suspicious of this. Alright, create and execute. Oh yeah. Okay, that's fine. Okay, luckily, we're already pointed in pretty much the right orientation. So that's good. Alright, let's activate our RCS here. Yeah, this RCS does not do very well at traversing us. But luckily it doesn't actually have to do much. Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about now is that it's not going to have enough to ullages. We need to be really careful on that. We need to have this ready as well. Oh, we don't even need to ullage. Man, we got lucky with that. Holy. That could have been a terrible problem. Alright, successful relight of the Centaur. We're not going to get much extra performance out of that, but we don't need it. It's mostly just there for the little extra kick. And we're going to light. Alright, we're good. I come back to the rocket being yellow. Yeah, man, of course. Okay, that's what I thought. Alright, lunar orbiter, here we go. I think the yellow rocket's a little better for everybody, if I'm being honest. I don't think the hot pink really worked well. Alright, there we go. Okay, yeah, it's an interesting burn. But it's, I mean, it's fine. We need to use a little bit of RCS here. We need to watch it, though. We really cannot use too much. We want the periapsis to be like, I don't know, 300 is probably fine. Alright, that's good. We can shut down these avionics so we can have a cruise. Because that's something we can do, which is awesome. Alright, we're going to sling around and hit the moon. Well, not hit the moon, hopefully. Okay. I'm going to wait till we get to our periapsis here. Let's get close. Like that. Alright, we are going to enable our avionics. We're going to go to retrograde. Okay, we need to really be careful on our RCS usage here. Okay, we're going to get out of time warp here because this is a little bit dangerous. Turn off SAS too, we're going to use fly-by-wire. Alright, let's ullage the tank. That's going to be the hardest part. If we can get through the ullage burn, then we're fine. There we go. We did it. Alright, no more RCS. Alright guys, we are capturing into a lunar orbit. What are the requirements? Below 5 million. Okay. So we want to be right at 5 million if we can. We want to keep the eccentricity up so our experiments can run. Just like that. Alright, we don't have anything else we want to burn. We can decouple this. We can begin our experiments. Okay. We can slightly rotate the spacecraft. Slowly. We can capture it to the orientation that we want. Wow. Got that pretty much perfect. And then we can spin it up. Wow, look at the moon. It's so pretty. I know. Isn't this... like, this game, you gotta admit, it is so beautiful. This is, like, genuine eye candy right here. We need to shut down these avionics, then. Alright, 43 seconds. And we need to transmit some sort of data, which I don't know how we haven't already done. Have I not? Stock KSP even without shaders looks amazing. Yeah, it does. I mean, RP-1 looks a little nicer. Alright, we are going to complete this using the cheats menu, only because we have the contract done with. It's just we don't have any experiments. It's going to trigger it. So, it's valid. It's valid, guys. Don't worry. We're not cheating, I promise. How you doing today, Plasma Games? Welcome to the stream, man. Thanks for being here. The moon has a new satellite. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And that is our early lunar probes done with. Oh, no, we need to wait for mission control, which will be done in like 3 days. So, let's do that. Now, we have this done. And we can start on our Surface exploration, which is awesome. We need that money so badly right now. We start building up that reputation again, finally. Okay. We are definitely in the green. We need to upgrade that, which immediately puts us in the red, but that's fine. Let us design our second generation capsule here, shall we? Well, you know what? We can move towards doing our first lunar landing like right away. Like that will not be a big deal. So let's do that. Crewed lunar landing. Let's go. Big day for the stream today. Yeah, yippee. Alright, so we're actually going to be using a very, very similar rocket to what we've had. A little bit different though. So first of all, we need to change this top part a lot. We need 2 sets of... Okay, we're going to... Okay, did I say this is going to be very similar? Because I totally lied. It's going to be very different. We can get rid of all this. This is pretty much going to all be restarted with. Alright, let's build our lunar lander, guys. So, we're going to use early interplanetary here. We want to use isogrid because we want to be as weight efficient as possible. It's not going to be a big deal because we're building a very, very small craft here. They need to be high pressure. Turn up the diameter a little bit. We're going to use these little tiny thrusters. Just these wee little things. And then some tiny little RCS blocks. Something like that. We want to use, I guess, HTP for these. I'm guessing that's the best one we have access to right now. So we are going to fill that, which gives us more thrust, more delta V than we actually need. So we can lower this down by a ton, actually. Something like that. We can say 0.5 on that, give it 100 EC. Does not need much. Okay, that makes this a little heavier. That makes this a little bigger, I guess. We can put some solar panels on it. They're not going to look like this, don't worry. I know how disgusting that looked. Turn down the panel scale. Something like that. How we feeling, guys? We liking it? We liking it? Can throw an antenna on the top. Something like that. We need a little bit more fuel now that we've added some weight, which makes sense. We want to have like 1100 on this. Looks like that's where we get diminishing returns, so we're going to leave it like that. Okay. That looks pretty good. Plasma Games. Oh, we're on Twitch too? How we doing, Plasma? Welcome, dude. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got double viewership. That's great for the numbers. Okay, so now we need to slap a descent stage onto this thing. It's going to look something like this, but not quite. We need to put our deep space avionics on here. This one's going to have a lot more capability in terms of what it does. Wow, this costs so much to tool these avionics. It's insane. I think I should move to Twitch. Less delay. Hey, man. Do what you want to do. I don't mind either way. How many Kerbals for the mission? No Kerbals. This is purely unmanned. Alright, we're going to make this a lot smaller, because this is excessive performance. Like, even that is way more than we need. But we'd rather have too much than too little. So, that is absolutely plenty for our lander. We will add. Can we do the better ones? No, we can't. Okay. Juno 6K like that. And then if we slap this on top, do we think that's enough? I think that might be enough. Next time, yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Okay, before we change anything with this, let's quickly... How much Delta V do you need to land? More boosters? Okay, see, now we're having some good ideas. Now we're thinking with rocketry, guys. I want to quickly unlock the... Yeah, I should have been doing this a long time ago. That's going to be a big performance boost. Okay, back to this. I think, unfortunately... Oh, that's our second stage. See, that's actually our problem. Yeah, we actually need... I think we need to add another stage to this. Which is not going to have to be anything crazy. Because we're still... Yeah, we have 40 tons that we can add. I need to alt-tab and come back. Although, also, you know what? How much do we gain if we take some off of this? Because this does not need 3,000. That is excessive. Like, very excessive. So, like, something like that is probably fine. Like, I don't think we need any more than this. Then that will bring this way down. I mean, we probably want a little bit of safety margins, so maybe something like that. Call it 2 tons. How much extra... See, that doesn't give us that much more performance. So what we want to do is... Oh, wow. We can definitely bring that down. We're just going to add another stage here. Oh, I gotta remember to do that as well. That makes a difference. Okay. We're just gonna slap another stage on this. Lander is so cute. Isn't it? Isn't it like adorable? I thought that myself actually. I was like... And this is not gonna be a very big stage. We're just gonna slap N H1D on this. Does this need ground clamps? No, it does not. Yeah, something like that. Okay, we can make this a little bit bigger. Not a lot bigger, but a little bit. Okay, something like that. And let's give it 54,300. Is there a vacuum variant of this? There is not. Maybe it's better to use an actual vacuum engine. But I mean, 295 really isn't bad. And any vacuum engine is going to have too little thrust. I think we just use another one of these, and this engine's super reliable. Yeah, I think we stick with it. Okay. Something like that. How do we feel about that? So that has... Well... Oh, it's not staged correctly. Which will make a big difference. Where did that engine go? Oh, it's lighting with the first stage. Okay. How about now? There we go. That's a lot of performance. That is like a lot of performance. All with something that we can build right now for not insanely expensive. I mean, it ain't cheap, but it's not ridiculous. Is that engine clipping? Do we need to give that a little bit more height? Okay. You get like white and orange. It's kind of a cool look. Okay. I do not hate this. Yeah. Yeah, I like the colors too. I think that looks cool. Okay, this is definitely more than we need, but I'd much rather be too good than not good, right? Type of thing, type shit. The only other thing we're gonna add here is a little fuel tank for some RCS on this thing. They don't need to be powerful, so it can actually be less than 100. It can be like 50. And we can just do nitrogen in them. That's fine. Okay. Should probably test this thing first, shouldn't we? Let's do that. Let's do a little simulation here. I think my plan is to end for today at the point that we get a successful lunar landing. I think that's where we want to be. Alright, ascent guidance. Let's make sure our staging's right quickly. That needs to go there. Okay, I'm assuming that's right. Alright, let's simulate a lunar landing here. This is very exciting. If this goes well, we're gonna pretty much go as hard into making this as we can. The actual landing is the hard part. So we're going to try and figure out some of the specs for that while we're doing this. Okay, that all looks good right now. This booster pitch rate might need to come down a little bit. That is not... Nope. It's close. It's very close. Oh. I activated that fairing at not the correct time, but whatever. We can jettison this. Something just decouple. No, right? Yeah, we're fine. Okay, cool. Okay, I don't know what the hell just happened with my staging there. That's probably something we're gonna have to talk to R&D about. But we look good. We look very good. Yeah, I don't know about what all just happened there. That's, we'll talk to the Kerbals back home about that one, you know. I want to quickly make sure. Okay, they are working. That was one of the things I was a little worried about. These have plenty of burn time, right? Yeah. Plenty. Alright, let's do our translunar injection. Which is gonna be... Yeah, we have enough. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. We need to activate these RCS. Which are going to be just absurdly weak, but they can be. That's not a problem. Because we have enough nitrogen for that to happen. These aren't going to be needed for much. They're mostly just going to be this burn and then orientation once we get to the moon. So they're not going to have much purpose beyond that. They'll also ullage these engines if they need it, which I don't know if they will or not. Doesn't look like they will, at least not right now. Okay. Light them up. Light them up. Okay, we're good. Okay, we had an engine failure. Okay. Well, it's not the end of the world. Actually, we just hit 2 hours. We might end here for today, which I hate to do, but I kind of have some stuff I have to do in real life. So, that being said, this thing's pretty much ready to go. We need to figure out the staging quickly. Yeah, it needs to be like that. I can stage this at the same time as those. So, in fact, that is probably where we're going to end it today. Good luck next mission. I appreciate it. That was a simulation, so that's no big deal. Honestly, that validated all I needed to see in terms of performance, because that meant we were going to get to the moon with like 3,500 meters per second or something like that, which is plenty. So, okay, we are on track to have our first lunar landing within 1962, which is pretty damn good. And then we'll have advanced capsules pretty soon. Early 1963, so that gives us 2 years to get that done. Yeah. Why do I have to shoot up to 7 viewers right as I say I'm about to stop? Now I don't want to stop. Okay, well, never mind. We're going to keep streaming for a minute. Let's get back into that. Let's run another simulation on that. What can I say, guys? I'm a man of the people. We'll keep streaming for a minute. Alright, let's simulate this again. We're going to disable part failures for now, just to validate the design. Let's go. Guess what? What's up, Plasma Games? Alright, we're going to validate this completely. We're going to try and do a successful simulation of this mission. Because this one is so expensive. Viewers left as soon as you said that. Is that true? My thing's not updated, so I can't even see how many we're at. And I think we're at 6. It says we're at 6. I mean, I lost 1, but hopefully he comes back. 3? Oh. Well, you know, it's all good. We're going to run this simulation anyway, so no big deal. We need this mission to go well, so we need to see a simulated success before we even consider doing it for real. Yeah, our margins are definitely close here. But that's all we need right there. That right there gets us there. So I think we'll be okay. Yeah, we'll have 3,100 once we get to the moon. We can jettison these earlier, to be honest. Like, I want to be high enough that our solar panels aren't going to break, so we can wait a second. But we're going to save a lot of mass jettisoning these early. Yeah, that gave us like 40 meters per second there, which we need, so. Alright, separation and fire. Good ignition on our L10s. So these engines are not incredibly reliable right now. Mostly because we have the... Get the drinking. Alright, I actually have water this time. Ah, that tastes good. Maybe we'll add a face cam. Nah, you guys don't want to see my ugly ass face. I don't know, like... I don't know if there's like an objective advantage to adding a face cam in terms of like... Does that make you seem more personable to people and, you know, help with viewership? I don't feel like it would. I could do like a VTuber of my avatar, but I also feel like that's kind of lame and stupid. Yeah. I mean, I don't look like, you know, I don't think I'm ugly enough where it'll impact me. Which I guess is always a concern. But yeah, I don't know. YouTube stream only just launched the rocket? Really? Are you sure you're up to date on the YouTube stream? For me, it's delayed like 30 seconds from Twitch. For me, it's the YouTube stream is not delayed all that much. Now, of course, I'm the one streaming it, so YouTube normally pretty delayed. Huh, okay. Didn't know that. Maybe that's why nobody ever responds to me whenever I talk to YouTube chatters, because I take too long. It's a good call out. Just keep that in mind. Face cam, face cam, face cam. See, we got somebody who wants it. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Plasma. I don't think I've said that yet. Hey, Master Killer, how we doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. We are currently doing our first lunar landing. Or attempting to. We have not really tried it yet, so we don't know if it's going to work. But I think it will. We are in 1962 right now, I believe. Wish there was a way to check that. Okay, let's do this. We can... Okay, we don't have control right now, which is fine. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's see about our lunar insertion. So we want to hit on the opposite side. So we need to use some RCS here. Entire engine didn't die for no reason this time. This must be good. That must be good. Yeah, that you know, traditionally that's considered to be a positive. Alright, so we're using RCS because we're switching which side we're going to hit it, because we want to hit it on, like, right here-ish, because that will be where we're going to be when we get there. So I think something like that is fine, because we need to be careful on our nitrogen usage. Okay, I think that's good. We can shut down these avionics to save us power until we get there. Are we gonna need for the solar panels to be able to see the sun? Yeah. Well, what we can do is we can just give it a little bit of a spin like that. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. And I think that will... Yeah. Because once they're in the sun, we're positive power, I think. This is shut down, right? Oh, wow. Are we seriously not positive power even when avionics are shut down? Yeah, we're not. Okay, that's good to know. We're going to quickly cheat and activate infinite electricity. So we don't run out, because this is a test flight. So we can still test it effectively. But we will keep that in mind. Oh, I messed that up. Wait, no I didn't. I did that right. Okay, cool. Alright, somebody write that down somewhere, that we need more electric charge on this thing. Or the coasting phase, or we need more solar panels is probably the answer. Alright, let's pull up our landing info. And let us begin the process. So we have a 2-minute burn on here. We want to burn when our time to impact, I think, is like 1 minute and 45 seconds. I think is where we want to be at. Then, yeah, that sounds right, actually. So, let's try and orient ourselves here. Okay. We're going to probably add some more hydrogen on this thing. Or some more nitrogen for the RCS, because that is not a lot of margin. But, alright, so we want to burn at 145. So, now. Okay. Get more solar panels, make it look like a honeycomb. Yeah, we'll probably do something like that. Okay, guys. We are coming in. Okay, now we are going to stop the burn momentarily. And what we're going to do is we're going to wait for our suicide burn countdown to go down. We want to burn when it's like negative 20 seconds, I think. So the problem with the suicide burn countdown is it does not account for us getting lighter as we burn our propellant. Which is a problem. So when we get down to, like, let's say we have extra performance here, so we'll be okay no matter what. Alright, there's negative 20. Let's try that. Again, guys, this is all just experimentation in terms of how we're going to fly this mission. I think negative 20 looks about perfect, actually. That might have been too late. Well, you know what? I don't think it was, actually. I think we're actually looking pretty good here. I didn't put any science on this thing. Okay, somebody like write all this down. Science and solar panels. Science and solar panels. Okay, so this was with suicide burn at negative 20. We look really good right now. Yeah, honestly, guys, I think negative 20 is about right. Somewhat shockingly. So now we just fly this down to the surface. We have a suicide burn countdown, and that one's a lot more accurate this time. So we can actually use that. I mean, the problem, it's going to come back up, but it's not going to be terrible. Science and solar panels, exactly. Yeah, it does look funny. You are definitely right on that. So these engines are not throttleable, by the way. So we're either fully on or fully off, which is fine. Yeah, I think we slightly overbuilt this lander because we still have another 700 meters per second coming in. Okay, we accidentally started to go back up. But we have plenty of Delta V here. Touchdown! Let's go, everybody! That is such a... Okay. We have landed on the lunar surface. So negative 20 we want for our suicide countdown. Okay, I gotta like write all this stuff down. Okay, but that was successful. We have validated our vehicle, everybody. That is genuinely so exciting. I'm the happiest boy alive. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to add some more nitrogen. Not a lot. Actually, let's change these to nitrous oxide. Like that. We'll make them a little bit longer. We don't want to lose that much performance here. Right, we can lose some, but we don't. It'll become progressively a problem. Okay, and let's add some solar panels. Yeah. Something like that should be fine. How much Delta V does that lose us? Like 70. We can probably scale them down a little bit. Or I do something like that. Okay. Do we have any other... Oh, science. See? We remember things. What science do we care about? I mean, we can do these. These are easy. And they're light, so they really don't hurt us. Magnetometer is really expensive in terms of mass, so we're not going to touch that. But we can do the... Looks like we're going to do the early TV camera. So we're going to bring back some images from here. Yeah. Okay, guys. We're ready. Let's give this like a funny colored tip. Yeah. Make it blue. Okay, we're ready. Now, we are not ready to actually build this thing, unfortunately, for a couple of reasons. We need to modify Launchpad first of all. And then we need to do our lander a unique name. Oh, we should come up with a name. Give me some name ideas in chat for the lander, guys. So we need money really bad. So what we're gonna do is, how long is this gonna? That's gonna take 24 days. Seriously? All right. Well, we need money anyway, so we're gonna do a little bit of time warping here. We're in July of 1962. We're doing good. We still want to be making a lot, so something like that. All right. We're not gonna warp all that way because that's a long way. Let's get this to like 70, or let's get that to like 90. Like that. Okay, then we can build it. Mun lander. That's too simple. Honeybug because of the honeycomb and bug. Okay. Bingus. I like that too. Here. One second, guys. All right, there we go. We started the poll, guys. You can choose the name. So vote on whatever you guys want. Okay, we have the unlock credit. We have the money. We have the launch pad. We can build it. Oh, some tool parts. What have I not tooled? Okay, there we go. 72 days until that is done building. Oh yeah. Well, we have 8 viewers, so there should be at least one other person that can vote and break this tie. So anybody in the stream right now, somebody vote in the poll to name this lander. That's a good point. Everyone is just doing themselves, aren't they? Okay. Yeah. Money is tough. Yeah. Definitely is. Either Honeybug or Bingus, one of the two. I like Honeybug. I'm voting for Honeybug. The streamer will vote himself. Also, I think you guys can vote additional times using channel points. So, Ball Muncher would easily destroy this because he must have the most channel points by far. So, it would have been Bingus, but it's not meant to be. Okay, we probably want that. Okay, 62 days till we're done with that. We're a little bit in the red, but not by much. We can tank it, and that's still being built. Alright, let's do this. Okay. I wanted to look at something quick. Not that. Yeah, okay. We are falling behind in the rep game quite severely, but that's alright. Go with Ball Muncher's idea? Okay, in that case, Bingus is on its way to the moon, everybody. This is it, guys. This is for real. This is no longer a simulation. This is... It's the real deal. We've tested everything. We have done it in a simulation successfully. I think there's nothing else to do but send... Okay, I like that actually. The rocket looks a lot more like a Bingus. I think we can agree on that. Okay, Bingus is heading towards the moon, but Honeybug is gonna land on it. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Engine ignition. And Very, very slow liftoff of Bingus. Heading to the moon for our first landing. So this is going to be a problem. We're not going to have enough for TLI anymore. But that's okay. Because we will, we can make that up with the extra that we have on the actual lunar stage. So, not a big deal at all. I mean, we can jettison these fairings quick and see if we can get to the point where we'll have enough. Actually, we do. I think we do. It's going to be close, but... Bingus is on his way, guys. Well, Bingus is actually mostly gone. Most of Bingus's weight has been destroyed. Oh, guys, I messed up. I messed up. I didn't check if the extra RCS fuel makes the lander uncontrollable. Uh-oh, guys. That's really bad. That's, like, atrociously bad, actually. And there's no way of knowing until we decouple it. So it's just going to be a guessing game. I guess we can try and burn off some of their reaction control fuel. I think that's the only option, but I think with adding those satellites and adding that reaction control fuel, it's going to be too heavy for that for those avionics. Shoot. That is unfortunate. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. Oh, and we had an engine failure. That is mission over. Honeybug is going to be dropping into the ocean, everybody. R.I.P. Honeybug. He's dead, guys. I can't revert. I can't. We don't revert. It's realism overhaul. For stuff that actually fails, we can't revert. I wish I could. I truly wish I could. But we keep it. We do it right, guys. Ain't that we do it correct. Honeybug 2 going to the moon. Oh my gosh, those early RL-10s are just so unreliable at this stage. But we need them. We have no other option. I mean, we got extra flight data, which is nice. But, yeah. Alright, well, the good thing is we can see if we would have had a failure here. Which I think we would have. So, yeah, we would have. So, okay. You know what? There are some upsides here. Do I have to retool that? Oh my gosh, I do. What a waste of freaking money. Anyway. Okay. Bingus 2 will ride again. Or Honeybug 2. Well, they're both 2. The lander and the rocket were destroyed. Let's be realistic. Okay. We need to cut that completely because we need to quickly get enough funds to launch it. Alright. Oh my gosh, we're short literally 30 funds. I love my life. This game is just punishing me for continuing streaming. That's okay though. We're having fun. Alright. We need the time warp for like 30 seconds. Okay, there we go. We can turn this back up a bit. Alright, let's save and launch. This will be the last launch of today, guys, no matter what happens. So, if it fails, it fails. We Be GG go next kind of thing. Okay. Our astronaut complex is never gonna get built, dude. Holy. See, we're so low on our rep. That's the problem. We're missing 200,000 a year from that. Well, we got our second gen capsules, which is awesome, except we can't use them. We need the better hydrolux, although we need the solar panels as well, but we need the better hydrolux for those, so we're gonna make sure we get those. Alright guys, let's run it back. February of 1963 for our first uncrewed lunar landing. In real life, it was actually in 1959, which is embarrassing. But I don't think... we were never getting there in 1959, so I don't care that much. Alright, let's do this properly now. Something's wrong with my staging. Something is very wrong. Oh, my staging, like, collapsed. That's sick. Okay. That needs to go with these. That is... yeah, that's fine. That needs to go with that, which is good. Like that. Yeah. And everything else we can figure out later. That's fine. Okay. Everybody, for the hopefully last time, let's send Bingus on their way. Good luck, Honeybug. Good luck, Bingus. Let's make it to the surface. We're up. Something's wrong here. The optimizer is really upset. Why is the optimizer upset? Okay, it fixed itself. Never mind. Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. I really hope this one does not fail. Now, I mean, we did get a good chunk of flight data on the RL-10. So, you know, there are some benefits there. We're now up to a 95% ignition chance on it, with a mean time between failure of 49 minutes. So that's a lot better. That's a big benefit. Alright. Successful separation of the second stage. The first time. Let's just hope it gets all the way this time, shall we? Alright, nominal orbital insertion. I'm inserting it, Lois. Lois, I'm inserting it. Okay, we have good RCS. Create and execute. We are not going to make our orbital insertion with our main stage, which is okay. That's not a huge... it's not a huge deal. He's inserting it! Lois! Lois, he's inserting it! I don't know why I say Lois with that. Yeah, we're going to be 50 meters per second shy on our insertion, which is okay. We have the extra ignitions on this engine to be able to handle that, so that's not a big deal. Peter, the horse is here. Peter, the horse is here. But yeah, we will be okay here. As long as these ignite. It's a 10% chance they don't. Okay, we have good ignition. Now just don't die. Please do not die. They have these views every day on the ISS, by the way. Yeah, isn't that crazy to think about? Okay, we're going to be 50 meters per second shy on this burn, which is okay. Okay, I'll tell you what. I kind of want to see... No, we're not going to do that. And... cut off. Okay. Successful TLI. Alright. That will not work. We need to rearrange this, which is good. We have the stuff to do that now. Something like that will be good. Alright guys, let's go to the moon. Electric charge. Okay, we're good on our electric charge now. The honeycombs worked. PETA, we made it to the moon. PETA, we're at the moon. If this lands, I'll sub. That's a bet. That is absolutely a bet. Oh my gosh. My heart just skipped a beat. I thought I overtime warped. I thought we were about to get just flung into the moon at Mach Jesus. Oh my goodness. That scared the shit out of me, dude. Okay, let's remember our procedure here. We have the exact landing procedure down. We know what we're doing. We're burning at 145 on our descent stage. Let's call it 150 because we have the margin for error. So at 2, we're going to stop. We're going to flip the retrograde. And we're going to ullage our engines. Alright, well, we're going at 145 anyway, but that's okay. I think we'll be okay on that. Always trust in my designs. Okay. Honeybug is on its way to the surface, everybody. Okay, last time we did negative 20 for our suicide count. We're going to be a little bit more conservative here. We're going to go negative 15 on our suicide burn counter. So we're going to go negative 12. You know, we're going to play it safe. We have plenty of performance on that top stage, so we'd much rather be too slow than too fast, right? So we're gonna handle it just like this. We might as well do some science while we're here. Still good on EC. Yeah, we're all right. Okay. We might as well fire the nitrous. They help us a little bit. They give us a little bit extra performance. Okay, we're gonna be high here, but that's okay. Engine cut off in 15 seconds. We're going to be cutting off at about 200 meters per second, it looks like. No, a little bit faster than that. More like 400. Yeah, 300 maybe. Right, we're slowing down a bit high here. That extra little bit of distance was not the best. But that's okay. We can separate. Alright, we're on to lander. Suicide burn countdown. We're gonna go at negative 5 on the suicide burn countdown. Okay, let's go. We're gonna ride it down, guys. Okay, we're back to 0. Once we get to 2, well, actually no, we're not gonna cut it. Well, once we get to 4, we'll cut it down until we're at 0. Now, negative 1. That's good. Okay, everything's looking good, guys. Everything is looking good right now. Okay, fuel check. We are at 800 seconds of delta V. Plenty of delta V. Okay, 5,000 meters. 4,000. 3,500. 120 meters per second. That looks good. We have our suicide burn countdown. We're safely above it. Okay, dropping now. There's 50. At 25, we're going to start blipping the engine a little bit. There's 25. We're going to ride that suicide burn countdown until 10. Actually, we'll go 5. I think 5 is better. We get a honey... yeah. We will, actually. I have another landing I need to do for the contract. Okay, fire at 5. Looking good. 700 meters. 600. 500, stabilizing at 20 meters per second. We're going to try and hold this for a little bit. We can blip these engines all we want. Okay, we're waiting till suicide burn countdown now. We're going to go at 1 second. There's our 1. Slowing down. 10 meters per second, 60 meters. We're going to hold. We're going to hold slow. We're blipping our throttle. Just blipping it. There's 3. Honeybug has landed. Oh yeah, let's go. Honeybug has landed, everybody. Oh my goodness. That is like the most stressful thing ever. We need to transmit the science so we can time warp a little bit. We can shut down these avionics. We don't need to fly again. Thank goodness. Contract complete, everybody. Honeybug has landed. Here, we can time warp for 30 minutes and get all of our science done. A little bit more than that. Here we go. Okay. Hydrate. I got you. I have hydrated. I wish it was alcohol. I feel like I need that right now. Okay, so here's the question, guys. How much do we have left? We have 400 meters per second left. Do we try and take Honeybug back off and land somewhere else to try and get some different science? There is no reason not to. There's no long-term experiments on board. We've done all the science we can. I think we're going to go for it. This is stupid. Okay, I'm going to leave us with like 150. I'm going to try and go up to that hill. We want to leave ourselves. Okay, let's see if that's enough. Nope. I gotta be honest, guys. I think we're just gonna. I think we're gonna try and bring her back down. I think that was a mistake. Yeah, we might die. There's a very non-zero chance that this is unfortunately the end of Honeybug. Okay, you know what? That could have gone worse. We're not in a different biome, but Honeybug did survive. So, we're going to take that. Let's go! We still did it, guys. So, Ball Muncher. I believe we had a deal, didn't we? If we landed on the first try. I believe we had a little arrangement, perhaps. Actually, that was the second. Okay. That was the first try at the moon. It's all good, bro. Honestly, you don't need to. You being here is all the support I require. Okay. Let's go down our rocketry tree a little bit. We want to get to improved hydrolux at some points. Actually, we need these. Because we need early docking procedure. So I lied. We're going to go to early docking procedure. Okay. I trust. Okay. Where are we at? We need to do advanced orbit. To do that, we need to build... Okay. We'll finish today with our Gemini build. I know I keep pushing the goal post, but... We're going to finish with the build of our Gemini spacecraft, I think. Because why not, right? We can get rid of all this stuff. because we're on to Gemini. We're not actually going to, we're not going to get to the point where we're able to launch this today because we just don't have the unlock credit. We're so far behind on our unlock cost right now. Which, you know, it's honestly not the end of the world, but we just need to, we need to get that done. Thermal, we'll just put the adjustable on it. Something like that. Looks pretty good. Let's put a decoupler on it. Well, yeah. We'll use a ring decoupler. What is it? 2.3? Alright, now we have to actually build a little service module for orbital maneuvering. Honeybug 3 should be a rover. I don't hate that. I do not hate that idea. We don't have any rover parts unlocked right now. But I don't hate that idea. Not one bit. Alright, so we are gonna put a lot of these. Oh, actually. No, we're gonna put a lot of those. Something like that. A 1,000 meters per second is excessively enough. So that's good. That will work. We have 15 of them on there. It looks kind of stupid. Starship, yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that'll work. And then we also want to add some avionics here because we want extra batteries. Actually, no, we'll add a... How much can this control? Control 3.5 tons. How much do we add here? 4. So actually we do need avionics. Yeah, so we're going to set these to be able to control 6 tons, and we're going to give it an extra 300,000 charge, which is going to bite into our delta V on that stage, but that's okay, because we don't need it to be that crazy. 2.3. We can remove this. Slap that on there. How are we doing on delta V? Actually really close. We do need another stage up here, which I suspected. Such a KSP design, it's insane. Yeah, for real. You can tell every engineer that worked on Starship grew up playing KSP. It's 100% the case. Alright. Slap those on there. And then we just need to make a little upper stage here. Does not need to be anything crazy. Just something to get us into orbit. Would it be like an engine we could relight multiple times? Probably. Well, excuse me, guys. Is it necessary, though? Probably not. It's not a bad engine, is it? If we slap 2 of these on it, how reliable is it? Oh, it's not reliable at all. Yeah, never mind. We want an engine that we have some experience in. I mean, we can't really use that, can we? We need a light, like... I mean, what if we just use these again? I don't want to just keep using these, but they are kind of goated. We have a lot of experience with them. Just slap 4 of those on there. That's 4,000 meters per second at delta V. It ain't bad, is it? And we can pretty happily make this 21. Tons of controllability. And then how do we look if we need a new stage here? I gotta remember that the top stage of Gemini has come on. Come on. gosh. Why do you want to place on the top? Oh, okay. I fixed it somehow. It's that minus 800. That'll give us 9,000. That's probably not enough. But we can take some performance out of this. Which is really not a big deal. Like something like that, perhaps. Okay. So we go like that. Not like that. Then we go like that. And like that. No, not like that. And then we go like that. Yeah. Does this thing have enough? I know how we can find out. It's kind of crazy this thing's heavier than the old one. We need to update this to be 57 tons. Okay. Alright, let's try it. I'd like to use the same launch vehicle if I can. But it's not necessarily a hard requirement. Okay. Send autopilot. 150 by 150. Yeah, that's going to be short. We need a little bit more performance on this thing if it's going to work. Which kind of sucks. We're getting very near to our mass limit. I mean, we could throw an RL-10 up here, but the problem is it's not really made for these heavier stages. I mean, we're only 54 behind, aren't we? We don't really need that much more performance. Well, 60... yeah. 67 behind. Yeah, as much as I love these things, I don't think they're the right engine for the job. 6? 6.7? Wait, what if I... Let me do this. One sec, guys. I want to see something. In the meantime, I think what we're going to do... I think all we need to do, actually, is just take this off and throw, one of these on it. And maybe make this a little bit longer. I don't need that much electric charge either. Hey, it worked! There we go. Let's give out a sub. There you go. Now you don't have to buy one. I win. Yeah, you know what? I have a feeling. Call me crazy. That this may answer a lot of our problems. Well, we can also do 4. Okay, kind of looks a little nasty. But will it work? I don't think it will. Of course, man. I got you. Okay. I have to run for today, unfortunately, guys. So I think we're gonna stop here. I think I just got rid of Honeybug by accident, by the way. Yeah, I definitely did. Alright, well, that's fun. I think we're gonna stop it here for today. Enjoy your sub, Mr. Ball Muncher. See, now the correct thing to do, Ball Muncher, would be to gift one to a Plasma. But hey, I'm not telling you what to do. I mean, Honeybug is still the one Honeybug is still on the moon. But it's just, yeah. Okay, so we're at March of 1963. Crude orbit, advanced crude orbit is going to be entirely what we focus on next time. And then also doing our lunar launches at the same time. But those are the two main things we are working towards. No, Plasma, see, what you don't understand is that it also gives me money. Hey! There we go. Hey, thank you so much, Ball Muncher, seriously. It honestly means the world to me, guys. Like, just being able to do this and having people here is so much fun. So, I think we're doing pretty good. We need more researchers. Money is really... I wonder if it's time to fire this guy. It probably is. I think it's time to fire this guy. We get more money. I think we're going to fire him. That might be a mistake. But I think that's correct. And then we'll just take this guy. Because these are going to pay us way better now. And they also give us a little bit more time. So I think it's the correct decision to fire him there. So anyway, that being said, guys, thank you everybody for being here. It means the world to me. Oh, we have a bunch of applicants. Problem is, if I take these applicants, we're going to lose a lot of money. But I'll hire them anyway, and then just slow down the astronaut complex again, which doesn't actually matter because we're not close to doing our freaking launch. So, or I think otherwise it's a bad decision in his eyes. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. So that puts us at 1965 for the early docking procedure. We need to be done by January of 1966. But we can do everything else before then, so that's not a big deal. So we can be very confidently done with this in 1965, which will give us 5 years to move on to crewed lunar landing, if we want to be kind of at the same pace as America in real life. This we need to get done fast. What are the requirements here? Oh, that's fascinating. So look at this, guys. So to get the crewed lunar exploration thing, which gives you just absurd amounts of money, we actually don't need to complete advanced crewed orbit. We need to complete uncrewed lunar surface exploration. So we need to do the orbiter and mapper and a far side landing. Yeah, I think that is definitely what we'll start with next time, is getting this program done as soon as possible. Because if we can get this done by, like, I don't know, in the next year and a half, which I don't see why we couldn't, in the next year even, that means we can pick up the crewed lunar exploration thing, which would be just, I mean, like, absurd amounts of money. Yeah, I mean, you can see how much it is. We'd be getting a million funds by the time. If we also need to save up confidence if we're going to do that. So, okay. I think that is going to be our game plan moving forward then. We are going to go super... You know what? Fuck it. We're going to do one more launch. I don't care. Do I... While I'm out? Okay, never mind. I totally lied. We're not doing another one. I was going to set up my my lunar orbital communications, but we don't do that now then. Okay, well, that being said, everybody, thank you all genuinely so much for being here. I don't see a reason why we won't be back tomorrow. So we'll see you guys soon. Purple Star, yeah, man, look at this. We got some subs in chat. So anyway, thank you guys all for being here, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, everyone. Also, really quick plug. Wait, let me plug this quick. I gotta plug it. You guys should watch that video and give me feedback on it, because I don't know how it went. So, okay. See you, everybody.